Happy International Women's Day to all the power women in this room and all the women all around the world. My name is Ichechi Okonkwo, the CEO of Victoria Crest Homes, and seated here with me are Amazons that our founder had, from inception, decided to build a team that is equitable and inclusive and gives equal opportunity to everyone, both male and female, to be their best, to give their best, and to live their dreams. And today I'm going to be moderating a discussion speaking to the biases in the real estate space when it comes to women. I stand on the shoulder of a lot of women ahead of me who have paved the way in the real estate space for us to come and thrive. And I have also, over the years, raised strong women, as you see on this table, and together continue to break all biases against women in this space. Before we start officially, I'd like to say to our viewers, please pay rapt attention, because if you were on my page or on the VCH page a few minutes ago, you would have noticed that being a part of this discussion today earns you an opportunity to be at the International Women's Conference holding at the end of this month with Ibuku Awoshika in Dubai. So it's an all-expense paid trip for 2 people in Dubai. And of course, our trivia questions, to qualify you for this opportunity would come or will be taken from the discussions we have today. So please don't say I didn't warn you ahead. Pay rapt attention and make sure you don't lose this opportunity. Okay, so let us get started. I have a couple of questions here addressing these biases in the real estate space. And I think I'll just jump right into it. Let me start from our able PM, lead PM, sitting by my side, Mrs. Lola. Lola, you go ahead to introduce yourself when I ask the questions. Okay, so as the lead PM in charge of site mobilization, how have you been able to cope supervising truck and earth-moving equipment operators who are predominantly males? Before you take your question, I know a lot of people would be expecting to hear, how do you go about investing in real estate and all those kind of discussions today. No, what we are addressing today are the biases that exist in our industry as a whole. So please pay rapt attention as Lola takes on her question.
Hi everyone, my name is Lola Sali, project manager, and happy International Women's Day to everybody. So to answer the question, it's quite rare to find women in this space, especially if I have to be the first person on site. I'm there with operators, I'm there with truck drivers, for sand filling, I'm there with just men. And we all know it's quite hard to take instructions from a woman or directions. So one thing I believe women have power over men would be that emotional intelligence. You can check Google, we do have it. And emotional intelligence for me, I start off as with jokes. I joke with them at the same time putting my foot down, giving instructions. So I'm joking and then I'm instructing you, and if you have a problem with it, I can ask you out. Because the company I work for, VCH Netcom Oaks, I have a lot of autonomy, which is rare to actually find, where they give a woman so much power, and I do have that. So I can decide to say, if you're messing up as a man on site or whatever, you have to get out. An instance happened sometime when we were sand filling Citadel Views Estates, where a particular truck guy had issues with another truck guy. There was a long line of queue and he blocked the entrance to the site. We didn't know at first, we came out, and then we saw so much scuffle, people were arguing, even fighting. I'm like, okay, so what's going on? And this guy is saying, no, he's not going to move his truck. Then he actually left the site, walked away. So I said, you know what? One of our payloader operators, please pull the truck. He actually towed the truck away. It was empty, thankfully. Towed it away to one side. Then I instructed him to block him off by using sand, like batches of sand, on all 4 sides of the truck. There's absolutely no way he was going to get out. So we did that, got back our access. Then the guy saw that he was part. He actually tried. You know, he moved forward, he moved back. He tried to. He practically didn't send me. So he tried all of that, and when he saw that he couldn't move and nobody could tell me anything that I would listen to, because what he did was exceptionally wrong. So he came, he was begging, he was doing all sorts of, I still didn't listen. His boss called, I still didn't listen. His boss then came to site. My people, I don't know if anybody will be seeing this, but a lot of people know about the story, and at the end of the day, when we ended all of it, he still went back to the jokes, and then, you know, it was sorted. So from that point on, they gave me this name of Alaja or whatever, and they just know not to mess with me. We're nice and we're crazy at the same time. So that's how we keep it moving.
Thank you so much, Lola. So she says we're nice, but we have to keep the job going. We have to be tough. You know, when we have to be tough, we need to put our feet on the ground and we get the work, we get the job done. Whatever it takes. For me, I have noticed over the years that hard work and excellence re-echoes our voice in this industry. And so we have, you know, immersed in our team, and everybody have got to listen when we say this is what everybody should do. And when everybody needs to move, they need to move. Irrespective of who is giving the instruction. At the end of the day, what we want is to get the job done. Thank you so much, Lola. Moving on to Sandra. In your leadership role as the quality assurance and control personnel, your daily interactions are mostly with the male engineers and contractors on site. And this may sometimes not really go well with them. How do you intelligently manage them to get results?
Okay.
Please introduce yourself to our audience. Don't forget.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sandra Imogio, and I'm the SBU head for Victoria Crest 2. Wow. So when I first started to take up the role as the quality assurance personnel on site for Victoria Crest Homes, it was quite difficult at first, because first of all, I'm female, which is that I can't talk to anybody on site because I'm a woman. And then if you're small like me, it makes it more worse for you, because everybody just looks at you and be like, how these small rats. So I had a lot of that. So many times I would have contractors speak to me the way they like, or you know, they won't even respond to me when I'm trying to get them to do things. So I knew I had to, you know, be tough. I knew I had to be strong. I knew I had to not let the fact that I am a woman and the fact that I am small make me not, you know, deliver. Because I mean, I was sent to this place to get this thing done because it is what I can do. Yeah. So I'm not going to go there and allow people intimidate me or make me feel like because I am female, I can't take up this particular role because it's supposedly a male's job. So anyway, I grew up, like, I became really tough, and then I knew I had to also respect them for them to respect me as well. I needed to make them understand that this is not a battle, and I'm not here to sabotage your work. So with time, I had to prove myself to these engineers and these contractors that, oh, see, I am the one here, and you need me to get all of these things done. If you don't come through me, there's no way all of these things will be done. So I respected them. They also respected me in return. And with time, they started to understand that once I come on site, I am the authority there, and they have to follow through what I have brought to the table. Because when you see me speaking, I am speaking from both GMD and the CEO. When you see me on site, you are seeing Dr. Ken, you are seeing Mrs. O. So that's basically how I started, and so far it's been great. I've been able to, show them that even though I am female, I can still do the job, even though you think it's supposed to be a male's role. So
Thank you so much, Sandra. Sandra said, if you see a small rat like me, if they see a small rat like me, they tend to take me for granted. But she has been able to thrive at her job by being tough. She had to learn how to be tough. She had to learn to respect them more. We all know the popular saying, respect begets respect. So what you dish out is what you receive in return. She refused to be intimidated in this space, and of course she had proven herself over and over again with the knowledge, the skills that she could bring to table. And for now, she's good with her team. So when Madam Sandra, as she's called now on site, appears, everybody knows that if that switch is tilted before she even talks, you should be able to. The whole aim is when she comes to site to certify that the house is ready for handover, then everybody should cooperate, because at the end of the day, we're all serving one goal. It is get towards one goal. So no one is here to sabotage your job. We are working as a team to ensure that the organizational goal, our personal goals are all met at the end of the day. Thank you so much, Sandra. I would like to move on to Olivia. Olivia, how have you been able to manage the technical staff and contractors? Those are the generator technicians, the water treatment plants, power plant technicians. How have you been able to manage, these contractors who may tend to consider you from a gender perspective?
Okay, thank you very much, CEO, for this wonderful platform. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Olivia Eko, and I'm the Facility Manager for Lekki Chevron Access and the SBU head of that location. Wow. So for me, it has been like, I noticed that because I come into site when the site is almost ready. So most of these workers are already existent on site. So I come to take possession, to assist the clients to move in. And then it's always like, she's here. There's an unconscious and stereotypical.
Who is this one?
Reaction you get from them when you go into site at first, and then you're introduced as the manager of the site, and someone is saying like, this small girl, she has to come and give me orders, she has to tell me to do this, to tell me to do that. So I think over time I got to understand that I had to, for those my workers who are directly under me, like I work with a lot of artisans like the plumbers, the gen technicians, water operators, sewage operators. I grew over time to understand that the best way for me to work with these guys is to actually understand their job first of all, because when you know what they are doing and then you tell them to do this, they would understand you and not feel like you don't even know anything. So let me use the word, they can't bamboozle you when you know your onion. True. So it actually happens to be like when you're telling, I could go somewhere that has a problem and I know the processes to solve the problem. So we're having a conversation on, okay, what happened, why is it like this, and then how we're going to solve it. So I think then for the contractors, it's almost not so easy to manage them, but the only way you get through with the contractors is they know that you're the person who is responsible for their job completion form, and then sometimes to approve their final payment. So even when they have done almost like a bad job, and then you're going to tell them that, no, what you have done is wrong, correct this. And then they're like, you don't know what you're saying, I've done my job. And then they want to pass you and come to the office to get their payment. It so happens that the office refers them back to that person who they feel like, oh, this person is a nobody. And then sometimes I've had them come back to me, but Olivia, not tell me that you're the madam now. I don't need to tell you I'm the madam. It's just for us to get our work done. So that has been with the contractors. And I think over time, I've grown to have a good...
I think our viewers want to see your face more.
Okay, yeah. I think over time I've grown to have a good relationship with them because they now know that The thing for them is Olivia will sign their job completion form. Olivia will approve their final payment. Even if Olivia is not the person awarding the contract to them, she somewhere has an authority to get them paid. So they just have to work with me. And then sometimes to reward these workers, that's the workers I have who are resident with me, is I just understand that irrespective of the fact that I'm in that position of authority, sometimes you just love on them, like give them that opportunity to feel like they are the ones who will get the job done. But sometimes I've had to even get my hands dirty, so I would understand the processes that these people go through. Because I've seen a scenario whereby someone will call me, you go to a house and men looking at the house, I can tell that, oh, okay, this is a capillary reaction, this is what you should do, this is who I should call. So I've learned from these workers, and I think learning from them, I've had to respect them, even though some of them are out of it, but that's something that we'll still keep on managing, because these people are, I work with basically men, aside my colleagues who are female. So I think I just had to learn to respect them, and in turn, some of them now understand that this girl, to act, like to assist her is, let me just respect her. Let's do the work together, because there's no need making Olivia shout unnecessarily, because it is not my job we are trying to get done, but working for a company. We have a business culture, and then we have the company's the company's goal.
Interest, the best interest at heart.
Interest for us to achieve. So I think that's how I've been able to manage them, and it's not been very easy, but somewhere, somehow, we've been over it.
Interesting, very interesting. Olivia is the SBU head in charge of the facilities we have between Chevron and the Lekki axis. And very interesting insight from Olivia. Olivia says, you know, she's the first person that the site is handed over to, and then of course she has to deal with, you know, quality assurance also. So she has to deal with the contractors who have finished the tiling and plumbing and electricals. You know, she has to make sure that the houses she's handing over to her residents are of top quality, which is, you know, our major goal as an organization. And in doing her job, she has learned a lot from even these men who she works with. She had to, you know, take out time to acquire knowledge, because it is very important that you don't allow them bamboozle you. So she had to take out time to learn from them, learn all the ropes, you know, she needed to anchor or armor herself with the skill, both technical and, you know, otherwise, to be able to excel at her job. And she also touched again on what Sandra had mentioned before: respect. You have to respect people, and then of course in turn they will respect you. And so and then also I wouldn't forget, she also mentioned that she had to learn to love on them, you know, reward. She had to begin to find ways to reward them to get the job, you know, done. We're all working for one common goal, and that in mind, she makes sure that they work as a team, whichever way it goes, to ensure that she achieves the goal of the organization. And so we'll take it on to Laura. And so Laura, I'd like to ask, we have misconceptions that a woman in real estate is an easy target. What's your perspective? Or let me rephrase. What's the perspective out there versus the reality of your experiences on the job? It would be nice to know how long you have been in real estate after you introduce yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, CEO, for this opportunity, and happy International Women's Day to our lovely ladies out there, awesome ladies here. My name is Laura Denuga, the SBU head for the Citadel Views Estate. Now, I'm smiling at the question because it's the notions are unfounded claim. It takes only a lady to reject, advances in the real estate world and succeed in it. Now, For a lady, I would give instances for a guy and a lady. A lady waits on a prospect to see that she is closing the sales, and she tells the prospect what the prospect needs to know because she knows what she's selling to the prospect. Unlike the guy, after the first, second, and third trial, he moves on, he gets tired and moves on to the next prospect. A lady
After all, just fill up the funnel.
Yeah. A lady waits patiently, brings out different options that suits the client's budget, and tell the client what the person wants to buy, the advantage the client gets from it, and they close the deal and move on to the next prospect. Now, instead of waiting for applications, to come in, these ladies, they venture into the real estate world, and they are owning their space. 4 to 5 months along the line, they are employing people, bringing out people off the market, the job marketing space to work for them. I am married, happily married, and before I got married, I was into, doing real estate. So this is my fourth, if not my fifth year in real estate.
Wow.
And I would say I'm not doing bad at all.
Yeah.
And it's because of the standard over time that I've laid. It's not that you don't have people coming to, try to make advances at you. Now, what do you know? What are you selling? What are you giving to them? What value are you selling? That after speaking to you, if you have that intention on your head, that, oh, this person is not even for that. Let me just close my sales, and leave. Now you have older ladies that are married, doing amazingly well in the real estate space. Even so much as bringing in their husbands to partner, with them, even though we know that they are the ones holding the hem of affairs in this, company. You have the likes of the Ola Jomoke Adenowos, and you have the Udo Okonjos, in Fine and Country, West Africa, doing great deal in the real estate world, putting their heels in their boots and owning the real estate space. This profession is a very, very decent profession for ladies to, go into. So I would say that you cannot be an easy lady, you cannot be cheap to, work in this space, because it takes a whole lot of hard work, dedication, mental capacity to venture into this industry. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. A, as we fondly call her, Laura Money. Laura has spent 5 years in the real estate space, 4 to 5 years and counting. She is happily married, like she, rightly said. And in doing her job, this particular bias is, something that I know we need to take out time. This might not really, this session might not be enough to address this issue. A lot of people, a lot of talks, a lot of insinuations that the women in real estate are women of easy virtue. It has become a dump ground for women, and that is totally unfounded, like she said. I earlier said that for you to excel here and get to the top of your career, it is not by being a woman of virtue. No, it doesn't, not for any profession. It is by hard work, professionalism, and excellence. And for every woman who she has mentioned, their name during her talk, you would notice that these three things I have highlighted are the major drivers in their journey so far. Laura has told us that, a lot of women have more patience to take rejection. When you do marketing as a realtor, as a consultant, when you go for marketing trainings, they'll tell you that marketing it's like a funnel. You just keep filling it up, because when you go down the funnel, it gets slimmer. And if you have a target for a week or a month or even a day, if let's say you have five new subscribers or new leads every day, you have to be able to keep filling the funnel to be able to get that number. And then it is women that you see that actually are more resilient, holding on to, these clients, trying to encourage them, trying to speak to them, trying to, educate them on why, they actually need to take this decision for themselves and for their families. They handle the rejections better. They because Lola already mentioned that women are better with emotional intelligence. They know how to, get these clients to commit to, getting whatever they need to get them done. If it's buying a house, a first-time home buyer, if you're, investing, Laura knows how to consistently follow through with you to make sure that even though you have said no the first time, she doesn't just throw you away. She comes back, feeding you with information that would eventually make you take that lifetime decision. And then, of course, she said that it doesn't take, it's not, you have to do the work. Women in real estate actually do the work. You see them put in the time, they put in the work, they seek the knowledge, and they offer the best value. Thank you so much, Laura, for the great insight. I would be moving on to Mildred. So, here's your question, Mildred. Customer service is perceived as feminine, which is one of the subconscious workplace gender biases. But as a facility manager, how does gender come into play in dealing with your residents?
Thank you, ma'am. Happy International Women's Day. My name is Orue Mildred. I'm a facility manager on Lafiaji Aziz and VGC. So it's been an interesting one for me as a facility manager over 6 years with Dead Company.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah, 6 years with Dream Court facility. It's been an interesting one. I've had to meet with different kinds of people from different spheres of life and industry and all of that. So most often they always expect a certain kind of person for that role. In fact, they expect a male for that role. And I see the look on their faces when they come to the office. Hi, good afternoon. I'm here to see the facility manager, and I'm the facility manager here. They'll be like, okay, for this number of houses,
this estate, for this huge estate.
Exactly. They expect that it's a physical attribute. And no, it hasn't been like that. Because most often, from running the generators, from water maintenance 247, from power supply 247, to managing their gym, the swimming pool, and hundreds of houses, they've come to realize that it's not really about the gender, it's about what she can do and what she has proven over time that she can do. So far it's been an interesting journey. It's been a good one, because when they need maintenance at their house, they're having issues with, let's take for example, you're having issues with POP, and you'll be like, okay, Mildred, please come and check this thing for me. And I tell them the exact issue, what would have cost it, sometimes electrical, and I tell them, okay, this is what you have done that would have cost this particular issue. So I'll get the electrician, or I'll get the particular artisan for that particular job for you. So over time, it's been a thing of, okay, it's not really about Mildred being a female. It's about what she can do. It's about how she can handle it in a timely manner. So we ensure that it's 247 power. It's 247 treated water. I know when my meter is wrong, when my meter is faulty, and I need to change it at the water house. I know when it is due, my gen is due for servicing. And over time, my deliverables has proven that it's not just a thing of gender, it's a thing of being able to deliver. So that has been how I handle them, and it's been great so far. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mildred. Before I comment on Mildred's question, I'd like to remind our viewers, those who are watching, that after this session, we're going to have a trivia question that will enable 2 women from this live today attend the International Women's Conference with Ibuku Awoshika in Dubai at the end of March. You have to have participated, have listened to all the speakers to be able to answer the question and, everything that is expected of you correctly. So please don't lose guard. Make sure you stay glued. I thought I needed to remind you all. 2 women, free, all expense paid trip to Dubai. That's amazing. At the end of the month, I can't even wait. So I can't wait to see who wins this. So back to Mildred. Mildred has been a facility manager with the Dream Court Facility Management Company that manages all the estates built by the Nedcom Oaks and Victoria Crest company. And Mildred has done 6 years here. Mildred has met different people from all walks of life in the course of her job. And for her job, like she has said, most often than none, they expect a man to be in that position. They think it is done or achieved with physical strength, but she has just told us that it doesn't require any physical strength. She has equipped herself with the technical know-how, in executing her job, and over time, those who she serves have begun to see that she's actually very good at what she does. It doesn't require physical strength. It requires her dedication, her knowledge of everything that, is imputed into those homes, so that when there's, any issue at all, if there's a POP leakage, if there's a plumbing leakage, she can look at it and she can tell you, oh, this is what's going on, and she knows who exactly to call from her team to attend to it. She handles the estate and makes sure that there's 24 hours power, there's pure drinkable water, and there's 24 hours reliable security in all the estates. And she has excelled at this for the past 6 years, and that's why she's actually still seated at this table, because we are not mediocre. We're not a mediocre organization. We drive excellence with Victoria Crest Homes, and I am really proud of you, Mildred. Thank you so much for your insights. Okay, before we go to the next person, I think if anyone has any comment on any of my speakers, something they want to just comment or add to, what they have said, you can just let me know before, we take the next question.
Oh, I do.
Okay, so
it's on facility management.
Okay, great. So let's hear Lola.
In the estate I stay in, we've changed facility managers about 4 times in the last 18 months. They've all been guys. And it's this complaint, how residents are, on the WhatsApp group, like they skin them raw.
I'm sorry, just to be sure, this is not a Victoria Crest estate.
No, it's not. It's not.
Yes, she doesn't live in, but she's working on it. Everybody here should be working on that.
I am. And it's this comment of, I keep telling them, I say because I see it here, that I don't think, it's not ego, it's not the muscles. That's not what you need. What you need is, number one thing for residents is communication. I've seen some of our own WhatsApp group of this company of different estates, and there's actually nothing that happens that is not immediately communicated. And all these things are led by women. But in my estate, it's the complete opposite. And I keep telling them, you have to engage women. It's not like the facility manager is supposed to go turn on the gem. No, but you need somebody who is compassionate to know that whatever you're feeling,
empathy,
yeah, at whatever time,
important.
you need it. You need information on it, and you need a solution as quickly as possible. And I strongly believe that only women can deliver this. Seriously, that's my comment. Well done, Mildred.
Thank you so much, Lola, for that addition. I'm going to be moving over to the only man on this panel session today, and this is just going to further hit the nail on the head for what Mildred and Lola have just shared. Steve, so you will introduce yourself and you will tell us, as the general manager who works predominantly with female unit heads, what necessitated this decision, and how have you been able to manage your team professionally and rate them?
Thank you very much, CEO. My name is Amadi Steve, and I'm actually very lucky to be sitting on this table with being surrounded with beautiful ladies. So happy International Women's Day to all the beautiful women out there.
Thank you.
Okay, my role as the general manager of Dreamcourt Facility Management over time has seen me have various experiences and records with people, male and female inclusive. It's not about the thing of bias, but over time we have seen the resilience from women. We've seen that they possess inner strength in them. We've seen that they have better multitasking skills. The woman can do 2, 3, 4 stuffs at the same time, cooking at the same time, taking care of the home, still studying and all, and she would have positive results. So we have seen these qualities in women and try to see how we incorporate such activities or such skills in the running of our operations in the estates. And like I said, it's not a matter of bias, so it's not a bias to the males as well, but it also covers it also covers efficiency as what we expect from it. Efficiently, women are better in managing, they are more focused, they are more detailed when it comes to paying attention to the issues on ground. They have more empathy for residents, they have more listening skills, and they are better in communicating. So with these areas in mind, the general manager position of course has to look at the overall business and the overall impact of the business and the efficiency we want to achieve. And that's why we have more women as unit heads in our department. And so far, over the past 4 or 5 years, we've seen them deliver, we've seen them build capacity, we've seen them grow in competence, grow in confidence, and generally, it's been a good sale, it's been a good run down the line. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Steve. Steve, how long have you been the GM?
I've been the GM for about 5 years.
Okay.
5 years.
Okay, Steve has been the GM Dreamcourt Facility Management Company for the past 5 years, and like we all heard earlier, most of the team heads or the unit heads who he works with are women. 2 of them are repped here, Olivia and Mildred. And Steve has just shared that based on his experiences over the years, that they have noticed that women have inner strength that they bring to table. They have the inner strength, they're more resilient, they are better at multitasking, so they can do 2, 3 things. You have 4 or 5 residents calling you at the same time. Oh, my shower, this thing just stopped running. Oh, my kitchen, this thing is just, oh, there's some, all the complaints are coming at you at the same time. And over the years, he has noticed that women are better at handling these issues because they are better at multitasking. They are more efficient, they are more detailed, they are more focused, and they are better at communicating, because they are more patient to listen. A lot of women are more patient to listen. If we if we take it back to the home, we see that with the children, the women are, better at listening to, the children whining, the children this. The women are just better at multitasking. There's no questioning it. There's no arguing it. And like he said, it is not a bias. It's based on the corporate strategy of Dream Court Facility Management. They know what their goal is and how do we go about achieving it. They have men in their team, but it is predominantly headed by women, and the reasons he has just given us. And over the years, he has seen them build more capacity, grow in confidence, and deliver the job. So as much as possible, he doesn't have residents screaming at the middle of the night, I don't have light, I don't have water, because these women bring their A game to work and they deliver. Thank you so much, Steve. Okay, so I think I'm going to remind you guys again. Don't forget, we have 2 tickets going, free tickets going to Dubai at the end of the month. So please keep your attention wrapped on the discussions. I would take the discourse to our Amaka of Lagos. And so Amaka, as a successful single female in real estate, do you think it is possible to own real estate or own a property or pieces of properties from sheer ingenuity and professionalism, just by doing your job, working hard? Do you think it is possible? Do you think every single girl who should own property should, whether you are in real estate or not, without having to compromise on your moral values and standards? Do you think it is possible to own real estate? Because a lot of young girls are out there listening to you right now, and they want to know. The notion is, if you have to do certain things for you to be able to afford a home, you have to buy a property. You have to be able to do. You have to do things that are not, of good standards. Any girl who owns a single girl who owns a house must have done this, that. Do you think that is correct? Okay. And is it possible to own real estate as a single girl?
Thank you so much. So my name is Amaka Okonkwo, SBU head, Victoria Crest 1. So going back to the question, I think to me, yes, it's possible to own real estate without losing your moral values. So let me take us down memory lane. So I started real estate with little or no knowledge about marketing. I came into the company originally as a program officer. I wasn't meant to do marketing at all. So down the line, I joined the marketing team and I started marketing. I made my first 1 million naira and I blew it. I spent it.
She blew it.
I blew it. I spent it.
Buying things.
Exactly. Things that are very irrelevant.
Trivial things.
I sat down one day, and luckily for me, we had a conversation in the office where CEO was like, I want you guys to invest in real estate. And she told us about how over the years she spent her commission trying to build up a property portfolio. So I went back home and I thought about it. I was like, it's a big deal because the money is actually a lot. I can't afford it. But the truth is, you just have to start. If you start before you know it, you're done paying and you move on to the next one.
So do you want to tell us if you own your property now?
I'm getting there.
Do you own a property now?
Yes, I do.
Wow, amazing.
So I can remember the day I got my offer letter. I was so excited.
She made me take a picture.
I took pictures. I'll post it after the session. I took pictures and I was so happy. Then I went back home, I looked at the payment plan and I was like, yes, I can do it. So I started paying. I got more commission, I made more sales, then I got paid, then I put it in the house. I paid the first time, the second time, then I think the third commission was a struggle because I was like, I'm broke, I don't have this, I don't have that, I need to buy this. Because the truth is, it's not an easy journey. You would feel the pressure, like, is it even worth it?
They're posting hair.
And I can't buy the hair and I need it. Like, it's so painful. Is it even worth it? And I call my brother and I'm like, guy, I'm tired.
They need to hear you.
And I'm like, guy, I'm tired. And he's like, how much have you paid so far? And I'm like, I've done this. Like, I'm really proud of you. Wow, you've done it. And I'm like, okay. I speak to my friends and they're like, how much have you paid so far? And I'm like, I've done this amount. And they're like, blood, wow, they try you. And sometimes I speak to my boss and he's like, Wamaka, how far now? How much have you paid? And I'm like, so I've paid. You almost don't know. That means after this one, we'll go to the next one. And I'm like, yes. All these people believe in me, so I can do it. Yes. So I just keep pushing, and I keep pushing. It's really not an easy journey, but if you are strong, if you are determined, if you are motivated, I believe the sky is your limit. You don't have to you don't have to do what you don't want to do. You don't have to lose your moral values. You don't have to lose it at all. You just have to stay hungry, stay humble.
Focused and humble.
Stay focused, yeah. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you so much, Amaka of Lagos. That has earned her that name because she owns a piece of Lagos now. You know, a lot of people on social media have of Lagos on their name and they don't know why they have the of Lagos. It's just a social media name. Well, I'm going to tell you now. If you are of Lagos in any way and you don't own a piece of Lagos, please contact Amaka of Lagos. You need to own, you need to genuinely and officially
end that
title. You can't just be answering of Lagos without a piece of Lagos. So contact Amaka as soon as we're done and she's going to tell you how she started. She's one of our, she started off as a program officer and then she joined the marketing team and she took out time to learn on the job how to actually sell, how to, get her target market, how to create her customer avatar, how to generate leads, how to follow up with her leads, how to close out her sales, and so on and so forth. And today Amaka is a proud owner of a home with Victoria Crest Homes in Lekki, and not just anywhere. I am so proud of her here, and that's because she didn't just throw away the opportunity that was presented her in her place of work. And it can be for anyone. You don't have to be working with Victoria Crest Homes to be able to buy a house. Wherever your feet has been planted, you stay there and you make sure that you water yourself. If nobody is there to water you, but God Almighty does water us. So you make sure that you blossom from that opportunity. She has grasped the opportunity she had and she's begun to blossom from it. It has taken her a lot of deprivation, and that's one thing I need you all to understand. It doesn't just take selling and I earn a commission of 500,000 or 1 million and I just put it and I begin to no. Those temptations will come. They will fling Hermes bag in your front. They will fling LV. They will fling hair. You see all of them? Yes, all those things are beautiful. But you've got to build the asset class that will fund that lifestyle. It doesn't make any sense for you to be able to buy a Hermes today and tomorrow you can't afford it. Oh no, that's wrong. Totally wrong for every single woman out there. For you to be able to buy one today, you should be able to afford 2, 3. If you're flying business class and you can't afford to buy it yourself, then that's faulty. You should be able to buy 2 more after that first one you have bought. And that's because you have invested and built the asset class that would fund that lifestyle. Thank you so much, Amaka, for telling us that you don't need to compromise yourself to be able to own real estate. And you, as a single girl, can own real estate. You can speak to Amaka more on, what's that your handle again? Amaka Okonkwo at Nedcom Oaks, and she would bring out time. She has become a mentor now. Do you see that? You're now a mentor, so you're going to mentor other young ladies on owning how they can own their own properties. So thank you so much, Amaka. So we're going to take our discussion to, who are we speaking to next? I think I'm going to come back to Madam Lola. Yes, I'm going to come back to Madam Lola. As far as real estate is concerned, in Lagos especially, the fear of Omonile is the beginning of wisdom. Everybody is running away from the Omonile palaver, and it's quite a nightmare. If you go for any real estate conference and all, everybody is always bringing up one question or the other on how to deal with Omoniles. It is quite a nightmare more than half the time. As the woman who is the first person on site, how have you been able to, first of all, tell us what you do as the first person on site, and then how have you been able to cope in this role?
Okay. So getting to any new site, the first things first.
For those who missed her introduction earlier, please do a quick recap.
So Lola back here again, project manager.
She's a project manager
for being the first person on site. We do our own due diligence. We contact the police, make friends. We're about to start our project. Next person, as CEO has rightly said, the fear of Omoniles is the beginning of wisdom. We reach out to them first. We seek them out, because if you don't, and they have to be the ones to come see you on site, they come with war. Sometimes they're in their right, sometimes they're in their wrong, but whichever way the case is, it's going to affect you either way, whether you're right or wrong. So we seek them out, and let me use Citadel Views again as an example. When we wanted to start sand filling, went to site, checked everything out. Next thing, we go find the Omoniles, call them up. I had to wait for like 30-45 minutes to get all of them together, all their babas and everybody. And I tell them, we're about to start a project, and we're giving you the opportunity to join in the sand filling. Normally, you don't want to, so many organizations don't want to do that, but we believe in creating opportunities for everybody, because if you're serving your immediate community, you're going to have peace of mind. It's important. So we give them the opportunity to join in the supply. And I tell them, we're giving you 500 trips first, and we're paying you immediately. They like money too. The quicker it comes, the easier it is to deal with them. And at the same time, immediately you say that to them, they're relaxed. So even when you have your own suppliers, you own your own trucks, it's easy peasy for everything that will come to site, including not even way beyond sand filling. Even when you stop working with them, it keeps going on. And I leave that meeting that day, gave them money, and we've continued to maintain the relationship, giving good CSR. Anytime they have anything to do, we're donating, we're contributing, we're even helping out. We send some of the boys on site to help them out, maybe in preparation or whatever they have to do. We're engaging them on the regular. Anything they have to do, anything we're doing also, we extend invitations out to them. They practice decorum, so that's how we deal with them, and it's been good actually. We give them a lot of opportunities, and for that, they don't, even beyond the project, wherever they hear your name, they call me Alaja in town, the king of boys. Hello.
The king of boys. We have our own king of boys right here.
So even beyond the project, they always look out for you. As crazy as it seems, you actually need them, because if you have it smooth sailing with them, they'll have your back on so many grounds, and it's quite important because the industry is you know how it is. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Alaja, the king of boys. So Lola has told us in a nutshell that before she goes to start doing anything on site, as the first woman who gets to site, she does her due diligence on the Omoniles in the area. So very important. She does her due diligence. She contacts the police. We're coming here. We have a site here. Everybody who is involved, all the stakeholders, she engages them ahead of time. Because like she said, if you don't engage the Omoniles especially, they might come at you with war more than half the time. Whether you're wrong or right is not their business. And we know how that ends, and that's why everyone thinks they're a nightmare. Oh no, you have to find ways of engaging them, and that's what she has become a master at. Wherever you are planted, be the best at it. She is the best at what she does, because I don't have Omonile headaches. I don't think anybody calls Dr. Ned that Omonile has done one thing, because Lola is in charge and she takes super charge. Okay, so she reaches out to them first, because like we said, it is important for her to do that, and then she does a barter with them. She gives them the opportunity to also supply, she creates an opportunity for them in the community to supply some of the sand that she needs to sand fill, those sites, and that kind of encourages them and makes it easy for her. And then of course she engages them with a lot of CSR for whatever they're doing. She's there to support, and then of course she gets their support for whatever she's also doing. If we have a launch, for instance, and we're launching a new site, they are there to support you. Okay, and then of course she said we need them as much as they need us. So you have to rub their back, and of course not by doing anything question any questionable thing, just creating the opportunities, making sure that you support them with CSR opportunities, CSR engagements and all. And then of course she has earned her title with doing that, the King of Boys. Thank you so much, Lola. We appreciate all you have been doing to ensure that we're at peace with the Omoniles. Okay, I'll take us back to I think I've gone around with everyone.
Jennifer.
Yes, no, Jennifer is going to be my last speaker because she wraps it up, so to speak. I'll take it back to Steve. So this particular question is I have two questions for you, and I'm going to just ask them simultaneously. One is, culturally, a lot of people question, why would you? Anyway, let me just give you the question. Let me not, is property ownership before marriage a threat? No, that's Laura's question. Sorry. Let me not mix it up. Yes, culturally, a lot of people question what Amaka has done, buying a property as a single girl, and when they get married, the man, is he supposed to move in and live in the house with the lady or what? Can you, educate us a bit about that? Can you tell us, as a married man that you are, I know that you're married, can you live in a house purchased by your wife, acquired by your wife before, she got married to you?
Thank you very much for that question. I think the theme of the International Women's Day for 2022 is breaking the bias in the
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So if I as a man can't move into such an apartment, then why am I even sitting on this table? It means I'm actually following the bandwagon to actually keep that bias against women. Ultimately, when we analyze these issues, taking it from the social angle, from religious perspectives, from whatever perspective we hope to examine it from, it's something that a man should look beyond ego, look beyond pride. The present realities we're facing today shows that the home front, it's supposed to be held both by the man and the wife.
Woman.
It's not a case of being the head of the family. It's not a case of being the breadwinner, so to say, but it's about having a successful home, having a successful family, a successful marriage. So yes, why not? If I happen to meet my spouse and she owns a property, what says I can't invest or move into that property while looking for others to invest in? What says I can't move in there and have a bigger picture of where next we can invest together? Like I said earlier, taking it from the social angle, of course, you consider things like probably the rental value or the value of the property in itself. Of what benefit is it to us moving into that location? If, for example, we have our job roles or our job domicile around Lekki, for example, and I have a property at Ikorodu, and she has her own property just by Chevron. it makes economic sense for me to move down to Chevron, irrespective of if the property is hers or not. Because on the long run, if I insist on we doing the shuttle from Ikorodu down to
because
Lekki,
of your
where we
ego.
go, exactly, we will end up wasting more time. Exactly.
And so Olivia says you reduce your lifespan.
Exactly, because you spend more time in traffic, you get worn out, you get stressed out. So it's really no big deal. And the reference I made to religious stance, it's of course can't be separated. Like you can't actually live apart. It's a home front where we must hold together as one. And I think only in marriage where 1 + 1 is actually a longer one, because it can be 11 or it can be 2. So yes, I would look beyond the cultural or the generally accepted
bias.
The bias bias in the public space, and I'll look beyond that and see the benefits, the realities facing me, and of course move into that apartment. And mind you, I'll be taking the master's bedroom in that apartment.
This guy is not serious. Okay, I'm going to take this question back to Lola, and I'll ask Lola, as a married woman, would you, be willing to tell your husband about, the property you bought before you got married, and if possible, move into it? Because like Steve has rightly said, if your husband has a house in Ikorodu, this is just an instance, please. If your husband has a house in Ikorodu and you have a house in Chevron or in Agungi, does it make sense? Yes, and you work in Lekki, or in VI, does it make sense for both of you to stubbornly go and live in Ikorodu and drive hours and reduce your lifespan, like Olivia rightly said? Or would you be comfortable with him moving into that house? And are there some kinds of, because a lot of women are listening and this is a very sensitive conversation. Some women are like, no, my husband cannot know. The money is, his house is my house now. How can we now be living there? Who will be paying? So that means I will not be earning rental income on my house, because I could have easily rented it out and be any rental income. So how do you trade it off, really?
Knowing that the real reason I purchased that property is to earn money, that has to be said. I won't mind earning from my husband. If he decides to pay me, I'll take it. But my husband, let me speak about my husband.
So let me re-echo what she just said. If he decides to pay her, she wouldn't mind. So, but how do you put that conversation on table?
Yes, these days, this is the woke generation. We millennials. What do you have? What do I have? So it should
full disclosure.
Really, there should be full disclosure.
You are one.
That helps with work-life balance as well. If you have full disclosure, okay, so you have this property here. We need it right now because we work in this area. But we all know that the end goal of that is for that to earn us money, either rental income or short stays or whatever is going on right now. So we know that it's only going to be for a short period. Even if it's not, we know the motivation behind that is to motivate us to make sure that we're getting another one and another after that and another after that, and we can move out of it if we need. And if we don't need to, because maybe the work is still around there, we stay in that, and we have other ones that can be investments for us. It's supposed to be a source of motivation and encouragement to the family. Right now, we know that it's quite important to build generational wealth. And to break this bias with women, you can't put your woman in the background anymore. It doesn't serve anybody. It doesn't even serve you. And men out there right now, nobody wants liabilities too. So full disclosure, everybody knows what's going on. We know what we have, what we own. And if yours is at Ikorodu, mine is at Chevron. We're staying here. We're staying here for the time being. But it should be encouragement. And it shouldn't be a threat to the stability of the marriage, especially if there's full disclosure from the beginning and there's a plan. We know what we're working towards.
Okay, so as a married woman that I am too, I have quite a number of them, and like she rightly said, full disclosure. So not to digress into marriage counseling, the truth is For you to excel, whether as a man or as a woman, then you need the right partner. Right in every sense of the word. Someone who pushes you, who wants the best for you, who strives to make sure you go for the best yourself. Does it make sense?
Mm-hmm.
You have to get the right partner. And a lot of us see the signs and we close our eyes to it, expecting magic later. Oh no, it doesn't work that way. If you know that you want to build generational wealth as a couple, it starts from the conversations you have, in the beginning. And if you are fortunate to have been able to buy 1 or 2 properties like my beautiful Amazons here, then the man should feel confident enough from the beginning to want to go into that relationship with you. You would know. If he's not confident, then forget about it. There's no gainsaying it. The issue is already, staring in your face. So if that person is for you, then what you both would do is collaborate to make sure that the home front, both socially and religious wise, like Steve has said, there's nothing wrong with you moving into the house. You can decide to buy it, collect the money together, yes. Collect the money together, add your own money again, and buy, in a different location, or buy, in other locations solely for investment, while you keep that one as your home. So it becomes a home owned by both of you. And then if, you keep encouraging and pushing each other to just do more and invest more for, your family. Building generational wealth is extremely important. And for conversations into marriage, it is important that you have these conversations. It is important that you plan for your future. Everyone who fails to plan plans to fail. Thank you so much, my amazing team. I would go over to Jennifer right now. I think, have I asked you the second question I wanted to ask you?
Okay, no, not yet.
Okay, so the second question I wanted to ask was, there are deeply seated misconceptions against women, and with the idea of your role, your responsibility as the general manager for Dream Court Facility Management, how do you advise your FMs, the women in your team, to work with the technical service providers and get results?
Okay. First of all, knowledge is power.
Fantastic.
I'll start with that. Knowledge is power. And when you have knowledge about any field, any area, or any specialization, you tend to wield your power, tend to assert authority, and get things done in a particular way. So for people who are technically gifted, artisans and other workmen, the only way to show that superiority is when you understand the job role, when you understand what exactly they do. Take for example, you're working with an electrician on site and you don't even understand what a switch is, you don't understand what a 2-gang socket is, you don't understand what a 1.5 mm wire is. It will be easy for the electrician to deceive you, it will be easy for him to rip you off your money, request for materials he or she doesn't need, or he doesn't need, and generally lead you astray. But when you have a broad understanding, a broad knowledge, a broad insight of what exactly these technical guys do, then it will be easy for you to make suggestions, it will be easy for you to make your inputs known, and those inputs will stand, because it is not just based on your personal view, it is based on what is best acceptable practice, it is based on what is the standard, and the standard we hope to uphold in the department. I'll give an example of a situation with one of my female facility managers when I got to site, and the AC contractor was actually fixing or trying to install the AC, and he made a mistake by trying to use a less capacity wire to connect the external unit, and she spotted it out and said, no, you can't do that, you can't use the 1.5 mm wire for this connection. It has to be a 2.5 mm or a 4 mm wire, so that we don't have cases of fire, we don't have cases of just in an emergency, smoke, burnout, or whatever, the breaker tripping off. And I just sat back and I said, yes, this is the capacity we are building in the team. Because she wouldn't be able to do that if she herself has not understood the job role, the job function. So generally what we encourage, or what I as general manager encourage my team, particularly the females, for you to gain the respect you need in that space, you must do the work. You must understand that job. You must go the extra mile to read, get materials online, go to Google, go to YouTube, gather information, because whatever information you have, if it is not applicable now, it will be applicable in the near future. So that information is your power, and if you have that power, of course, the technical guys will fall in line. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Steve. Steve has just told us how he has empowered his people with the knowledge talk over and over again, that he's told them, he has helped them build capacity with a lot of knowledge. They need to seek more knowledge. They need to be aware of the industry where they play in, what is pertained in the industry, and that way they are able to manage their activities with the technical staff, and they are able to gain their respect. They are able to go the extra mile to get the job done. At this juncture, I think we've had an amazing discussion so far. Thank you so much to these Amazons here and our respected gentleman for the insights on the biases that currently exist. We probably haven't exhausted them all because there are a lot, and we cannot keep you here till tomorrow. So most of it we have addressed today, and stemming from the discussions, I'm sure you know that all those things are unfounded. As a woman or a man, we all have equal rights. We can do whatever we set our hearts to do. Women have equal opportunities to be able to excel at their jobs. All we need to do is empower them more and give them, the support that they need to excel. Thank you so much, my team. And I think we would take a few questions now, if we have some, before we ask ours the trivia question. So if we have any questions online, please, may we know what the questions are. Let's see. Do we have any questions? Okay, so someone has a question on Zoom. Zainab. Zainab says, thank you so much for the privilege. In a situation where you talked to, or you've spoken to a male client about investment in real estate and he's willing to invest, he placed you under the condition of the idea of trade by barter.
Wow.
I think that's what Amaka just talked about. Yeah, Amaka spoke on this. And honestly speaking, these things do happen every day. They are so I'm going to just refer them as one of the hazards of the job. I think every job has its hazards. Please go back to the question. I haven't finished reading. Okay, so he will invest, but you can bring what can you bring to table as an exchange? You tried convincing him to invest and can't get anything of intimacy in return, but he feels like as a marketer you are okay. Let's forget all that story. My darling Zainab, I think when Amaka spoke, she talked about how she has been able to achieve, being able to buy a piece of property here in Lagos. She didn't need to compromise herself with any client or any customer. Any customer who insists that they are not going to do business with you because you haven't traded off anything with them is not your customer. I need you to know that. Not every customer is your customer. If it is important to that client that he invests in that property, then he doesn't need any trade-off.
First prospects before they become customers.
Yeah.
Yes. So, my darling, that funnel is that's why we said you have to keep filling that funnel. And as you sift through, you will see those who are truly deserving of your role in their life and your time, because it's of essence. Not all customers are your customer. In fact, they'll tell you, you go for inspection in twos if you must, unless someone is not available or it's a Sunday and you couldn't find someone to go with you, but then we have security guards on site. You must go on. So there's no opportunity for someone to be saying you have to do something in order for me to do this. No, that's not your customer, my darling. Please move on. You'll see the next customer who truly genuinely wants to buy that property and doesn't need you to trade off anything. You don't put all your eggs in one basket. As much as possible, you keep doing the job. Professionalism is not underrated. You would see people, they'll say, oh, Amaka is very professional and I like her for that. That's the compliment you need. Not that she gave something before. Oh, no. That's not allowed. Please leave that customer on the side. Maybe some other time you can feed him with information. By that time, his brain would have reset. It is possible that he may reset or may not reset. And this happens vice versa. I've had situations where it is to the other gender, and you have to deal with that customer. I just tell them that customer is not your customer. Just put the customer in that funnel and just keep filling, saving through the funnel, and the ones who are joining customers would pay for what they need to buy. Thank you. Any other question?
IG Live.
On IG Live, can we check? Thank you so much, Zainab. You're welcome. Okay, so at this juncture, I'm going to go over to the trivia questions that would give two women in real estate especially a consideration to be a part of the International Women in Leadership Conference with Ibuku Awoshika from the 27th to the 31st of March 2022. So you stand the opportunity to win an all expense paid trip to Dubai to participate in this at this event. And so, are you a woman in leadership? Are you building your dream and building your goals every day? And this is one of the things that you would love to be a part of. You would love to network with other women who are thought leaders, who have paved their ways in their various sectors, who have grown through the ladder. You need to network. Then this is the opportunity that you have to be in that space, in that room with women who have distinguished themselves in their career over time. Before we take the trivia question, Aziz, did you have a question? Okay.
Okay, so Amabeni just asked, how do you market to a prospect that is in the diaspora, someone who has obvious fears about their role?
Okay, so that's outside our real estate buyers question, but I'll take it so that we can move forward, okay? So I would say to you, first of all, a lot of things have gone wrong with the real estate space, with what you have just mentioned now, and it takes a bit of time and effort to build back that confidence. And so for everyone who wants to buy real estate, and for you who is selling real estate, before you market any product, before you consider buying any product, you first need to do your due diligence on the organization the people behind the organization and the property in question. So, to convince your clients is not difficult. First of all, you should have built a personal brand that your client can trust. And so for everyone who is marketing real estate, for you to be a successful realtor or consultant in this space, you have to build your personal brand on integrity. Everyone should be able to say, oh, I have worked with Laura at some point, or I have seen Laura's work and Laura is good at what she does. Laura delivers no stories. Oh, I want to buy a property, or I want you to buy a property from Victoria Crest Homes. And this is you speaking to your client. And you can tell your client confidently, this company has built and delivered over 3,000 homes in the last couple of years. They have delivered as at when due, on time, on schedule. And these are the values that you will get from investing with them. So if you're investing in a property built by Victoria Crest Homes and you're buying off plan, in the next couple of months, you'll be very amazed at what capital appreciation you would have gained, what rental income you would get, and then all these things are actually accessible. So make sure you have information that you can feed your client, and your client can have access to that information. That way it is clear, it is open, there's no hidden thing. People are scared because there are vagueness, there's vagueness, people who do shady things, there's a level of vagueness to them. But people who are open and have put integrity ahead of their business, everything is clean and open. So you are not, you don't need to worry about trying to convince your customer if you are trying to tell them to buy a property from Victoria Crest Homes, because we're everywhere, and everyone, you can reach out to anyone really who it's a small world. I tell people it's a very small world. Somehow that client you have would have a connection to someone who already lives in Victoria Crest Homes, and they can tell you that, oh, this is my experience with Victoria Crest Homes on buying my property. These are my experiences over the number of months or years I have lived in their facility. I hope that answers your question.
Well said.
Well said. Amazing. Thank you so much. Okay, any other question? Please ask your questions. We have to debunk all these biases because they can't, try to limit us. We have to break all the biases. So if you have any questions, please ask before we go ahead with our trivia question. Okay, so moving on. So the first question would be, which of these power women on this table, which of the power women on this table is in charge of mobilization after project has been completed? That's the first question. The second question would be,
Somebody wants to go to Dubai.
someone wants to go to Dubai. Someone has answered. Can I see?
Yes, someone has answered. Whoa. Wow.
Okay. So because I use the word mobilization, I'm going to take that question again.
We have answers here.
Which of these power women on this table is in charge of mobilization after a project has been completed? Question 2. From this table, who supervises the quality assurance and control on our sites? Who supervises or who is in charge of quality assurance and control on our sites? That's question 2.
Fail.
And the last question would be, why should women, I don't know if that's a question, but let's take it. Why should women be included in at the real estate's upper echelon. Do you know what I mean by upper echelon? At the management level. Why should women be at that upper echelon, at the management level? So those are the 3 questions we have. The team are taking note of the answers. Would also have a follow-up engagement with those who have qualified from this 3 questions we have asked now. I'm going to take them again. Which of the women on this table is in charge of mobilization after a project has been completed? Number 2 is, who is in charge of quality assurance and control on sites amongst the women here? And should women be included at the management level in the real estate sector? So thank you so much again.
Can they send their answers to the DM?
Yes, they can DM the answers to Victoria Crest. So tell them, please pin where they can send their answers to. A lot of us can see the answers already, so I'm sure we will take note of those who got the answers correctly. I can't tell you guys because I can't pick immediately. My team will pick, and then they will do a follow-up. And then, of course, let us know that terms and conditions apply. Of course, you have to have a valid international passport, for instance, to be able to make the trip on the 27th of March, and some other things. So please note that there are terms that would qualify you. So when you get the questions right, then you have to meet certain conditions, have a passport, be available, blah blah blah, and off to Dubai. I'm going to be there, by the way. Yes, I have my place reserved already, so I'm going to be there, and I can't wait to know which 2 power women. I really hope that there are women in real estate who would be joining that conference later on this month. Men can go as observers, but with their own pockets, in their own pockets. Thank you so much for being our amazing guest this afternoon. Thank you, Olivia. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you, Mildred. Thank you, Jennifer. Did I ask you your question? Oh, I forgot Jennifer. Oh no, we're not going yet. No. I was going to wrap up with her. Forgive me, please. Let's take 5 minutes to take Jennifer's question. As a lady, we are told to dream, to have a vision, and to inspire others. How has real estate helped your current brand status as a woman, as a thoroughbred professional who has real estate, being a woman in real estate, so to speak, made you become?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jennifer Edopolo, and I'm the SBU aide for Dream Estate Lekki Limited. So, to answer your question, ma'am, I always tell people that to be a woman is not a day's job. When I tell them, they laugh. But generally speaking, becoming a woman is influenced by our environment, or can be influenced by our environment, our workplace, the people we surround ourselves with and interact with. And becoming who I am today, Jennifer, can be shaped by these factors. I can remember vividly when I started, I just got out of school, a young girl, thinking about one nest, what to do in my life, what am I going to do, where am I going to work, and I got the job. I had little or no knowledge about real estate marketing, but then I had my CEO. I was working under her, working closely with her. I was able to learn so much from her. Though I was this shy Jennifer, always hiding behind everybody, I didn't want to come out, but working with her has taught me a lot. I saw her drive. I most times when I look at her, I'm like, I want to be like this woman. And because she's a go-getter, I know to become like her or to, emulate her character, I have to work hard and, put so much work in becoming someone like her, even better. I can remember a day, she called me and she said, Jennifer, I have one inspection, you have to go for this inspection. And I said, Ma, please call somebody, in fact, call Mr. Onduka. Mr. Onduka can do the inspection. I said, no, Jennifer, I want you to go for that inspection. I got there, and the man came out of his car and he saw me, he was looking at me. I had this mindset that this man is looking at me like, who is this one? And really, he did not even disappoint. He said, I want to see your boss. Who is your boss? I want to see your boss. And I said, I didn't even know where he came out from. I just said, I'm the boss. And he looked at me.
I am the boss.
I said, yes, I'm the boss. I'm the face behind Dream Estates. I wasn't even the SBU head though. And he said, okay, take me on the inspection. And we did the inspection and I closed the deal. I was very happy. First day I was like, really, I can really do this thing. The first one came, second one, the third one. And please don't forget, I can do this not just alone, but because of the people I have on my team, the ladies I have on my team, they also push me to do more. Sometimes I go back and I'm like, this deal, are you sure I'll be able to do it? And they'll tell me, Jennifer, you can do it. Maybe you're the one that did the last one, you did this other one. In fact, almighty closer, you can do it, just continue. And I keep pushing myself to do more and trying to be better. Every time I look at her, sometimes when I go back, I'll be like, will madam be able to do this thing? If she cannot do me, I can't do it too. Then I'll see her doing it. She'll go to site, even when she's not feeling fine, she's on site, she's doing it. I'll be like, if this woman that is a billionaire can do this thing, me, I have to do this thing. And I'll push myself again, go back there again, and I'll push myself again, I'll go back there. Sometimes I'm like, I cannot do videos. But when I see her come and she tells me, Jennifer, take this phone, you have to do it, I'll do it. Jennifer of Lekki did not just become Jennifer of Lekki. I had to come out of my shell. Now, I'm sure I can face the president and tell the president, so I want to sell a house to you. And he will buy, because 90% of the time when I take clients on inspection, I close. In fact, 100% of the time when I take clients on inspection, 90% of the time, I am sure I will seal the deal. And I will seal the deal.
Amazing.
Thank you so much, Jennifer of Lekki. I told you guys to have an off. Hers is of Lekki, not of Lagos. So she owns a part of Lekki. Jennifer of Lekki says that to be a woman is not a day's job, and that is true in every sense of the word. Steve had told us about how we multitask in case we forgot, how efficient we are and all that, and we appreciate those kind words. Jennifer has owned her space and has told herself that she is the boss. And so when someone comes and they want to intimidate her, she reminds herself and also tells them that this is her space and she is the boss here. She's not intimidated by anyone or anything. And she has grown in confidence. Now she's able to market with all that vigor, and she can face our president right now and sell him a home. He has plenty houses, so I don't know where Jennifer wants to sell to him. But Jennifer has built so much confidence that she can actually face the president right now. And she made a mention of something very important that I think is worthy for me to re-echo here. The people around you, the people you surround yourself with, the people that you are planted in their midst. They say, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. They either make or mar you. So you need to put yourself in a space where you have women who positively push you, who will drive you, who will make sure that you stop at nothing until you get to your goal. And then, of course, she also re-emphasized that mentorship is not overrated. So in every space, in every industry, there are mentors. Find the one in the space where you currently play. Make sure you get to them. Now, don't go with I want to take attitude. You have to also bring something to table. You have to learn to be resourceful. For you to be able to be an amazing mentee, please just take this expo from me. One, learn that resource skill. It would help you a lot. Because I don't think your mentors need money from you or anything. What they need is the resource that you can bring to table. So as much as possible, make yourself available for mentorship. Look at people who have excelled in that space and find your way into their circle or their corner and learn from them. Okay? Learn from them. We cannot overemphasize mentorship. It is extremely important in your growth process. Okay, so I think we are going to do this a little more transparent before we go, and from there we can take those who would actually move on to the next round. I think I would want a few of the questions. I want the questions to actually be answered here live. So we would unmute those who are on Zoom. And for those who are on IG, you can request to be added so that you can take the questions. My team will be noting down, and at the end of this session, I would give the answers, and then we can take it up from there. Okay? So we're not taking the answers away. So we're going to take as many answers as possible here, and then at the end of that session, would give the answers. So those who have actually qualified know right from now, and we take it on to the next stage. Okay? Hi.
I don't know if I'm the one on the screen.
Yes, you are. What's your name? Introduce yourself.
Oh, wow. Hi, everyone. My name is Chiamaka.
Hi, Chiamaka. Happy International Women's Day. You also repped here. We have a Chiamaka here.
I already reached out to her on Instagram.
Oh. Okay, so go ahead, namesake.
I'm so happy to be here. I see a lot of power women on the table.
Thank you.
I'm so excited. Yeah, so I'm going to just answer the questions, and I really hope that I get selected.
Okay, so I hope we have someone taking note already.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I just would like a little bit more clarity on the first question. I know it says who is the woman in charge of mobilization after the project is completed. Can you please help me understand what you mean by mobilization?
So the woman who takes over the site as soon as we hand over?
As soon as you hand over, that will be Oyelola Sadu.
Okay, that's your first answer. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and then can I get the second question, please?
The second question is, who amongst these beautiful ladies is in charge of quality assurance and control on our sites?
On the site.
I want several times to pay attention.
Okay. Yes, on the site, it's a bit confusing because I see that a lot of them are team heads or facility managers, and it's only Oyolola who is the project manager, so that one is a bit confusing.
So a particular lady was mentioned as the personnel in charge of quality control and quality assurance amongst these beautiful ladies here.
Okay, I'm just going to follow my instincts to say it is. I'm just going to follow my instinct to say it is Jennifer.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so the third question is, why should a woman be included in real estate at the management level?
Okay, I think that Mr. Amadi gave the very best response to that. Women are very intuitive, women are compassionate, and also Laura said something like that as well. So women should be included because they're compassionate, they listen, they are more patient, and with the client, so they sort of help solve the client's problem before moving on to the next person. So that's my reason.
Okay, so are we connecting with Chiamaka on Zoom or Zoom. How do we reach out to Chiamaka afterwards?
Can we ask her what she does?
Yeah. What do you do? Okay. What do you do?
Wow. So thank you for that question. I only just made the decision to join real estate a few weeks ago.
Oh wow! Women in real estate, welcome. So you have a mentor already in your namesake.
I already chose that in my heart as my mentor. I'm very excited.
Okay.
So yeah, when I was doing my research for trusted developer to market for, I identified Victoria Crest, and that's why I'm here today. Yeah. So yeah.
Thank you so much. So Amaka will help you in your journey. Just follow her closely, and please send your information to info@netcomoaks.com. Good afternoon. Please, please can you introduce yourself and tell us what you do?
Okay, thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you,
My name
Zainab.
is Ambassador Zainab Adewale.
Okay.
I am a Okay, my name is Ambassador Zainab Adewale. I am a recent graduate of Obafemi Awolowo University from the Department of Psychology.
Okay,
I am a women and girl child advocate.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
And also, I'm a marketer. I just joined real estate generally, so still trying to read more on it before going down. But though I've been trying to market it, I've opened a social media account for it, so I've been marketing it, but still trying to read more to get it before going deep into it.
Okay. So go ahead to answer the questions, Zena.
Okay, the first answer I have there is Mrs. Sola Sally, the project manager, and I also have the second one, Mrs. Sandra.
Okay.
My third question, why women should be in real estate in the upper position, is that women are limitless. Women should go out for any position. If at all there should be a limitation, then it should be a personal thing, not on the basis of gender differences. So it should be let the world speak for itself, not the women or gender differences. So women should be able to explore, come together. Talking about emotional intelligence in a workplace, every workplace, emotional intelligence is important, and it has been proven scientifically that women are more emotionally stable than men. So in order to move an organization to be more effective, we need somebody who can feel the pain, especially in real estate business. We need people who can relate with clients emotionally, who can feel their pain. Maybe there's issues with site or anything, who can feel that no, not just about me or about the complaint, but it is about you, because we established this system. Without you, they don't us. So, and I don't feel that women should be able to explore regardless of any position. Number one, talking about apart from the aspects of emotional intelligence, and two, women are multitasking. Like Mr. Stevens said earlier, we multitask a lot. It is a woman that can work in the system and still be in a conference, listening. So we know how to use do a lot of things at the same time, and we are still going to be able to grab them together. In the workplace, that is what's very important. We need somebody who can multitask, who can be able to balance all phases of life. So it's very important too. And three, the reason why women need to come up in the workplace is that we need to build ourselves financially, making other gender feels that no, money or monetary fund is not limited to any gender. Everybody to be financially buoyant. It will even help the other gender too. Because me being financially buoyant, my dream is that number one, if my husband want to do any project, I should be the first person that will lend him the loan, even if it's going to pay interest.
Fantastic.
I should be the first person. If you want to do a project of 1 million naira, I should be able to give you that 1 million. If I want to do a project of 200 million naira, I should be able to lend you. Then you can pay back.
Okay, thank you so much, Zainab. I can feel the passion. Thank you, and I know that you're going to bring this into your job when you begin to actually practice real estate full time. Thank you so much for taking out time to participate and answer our questions. Please leave us your details in our email already shared here, so that the team will contact you. Okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Thank you. So let's take the next. Okay.
After this person.
Okay, let's take the. Are we taking IG or Zoom?
No, Zoom. There's one person on already.
Hold on. Let's take IG. Go ahead. Dozie, hold on with Zoom. Let her hold on. Let's take the IG.
Hello?
Who is there? Who is on Zoom? Who is on IG?
Her name is Amy Wonder.
Hi, Amy. Hello. How are you doing? You need to turn your own camera this way. Okay, hi, Amy. How are you doing? It's so nice to have you here. Okay, so please introduce yourself again. Tell us what you do, and then take the questions.
Okay, my name is Amaka.
I didn't hear that.
My name is Amaka.
Hi, Amaka. Amaka, no, they disappoint again.
I'm a student of the University of Lagos.
Okay.
Okay, I'm currently 200 there.
Okay, great.
Okay, so
Aziz, bring your hand down.
Can you please help me with the number one question?
When we have finished construction, which of these women here takes charge of the site and begins to settle in the clients? Okay. So your second question would be, from this power table again, which of them is responsible for quality assurance and quality control on sites? Okay. Why would you suggest that women should be included at the management level in the real estate sector?
Okay, first of all, conceive of this women's day program. First of all, you have to help break barriers against gender equality and women marginalization. And also for the fact that women have emotional intelligence, we have ability to multitask, we have better communication skills. I'll make reference to Laura and that some people, we might approach a client now and it's not really going to pay. That doesn't mean you're going to just visit that client, keep buying. I think that feminine something in a good way. So I'll say emotional intelligence, ability to multitask, patience, women,
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Chiamaka again. I think all these Amakas want to go to Dubai. You people will stay in this Lagos. So. Okay, Amaka will take you. Even if you don't win here, Amaka says she will take you. But don't mind me. So thank you so much. You and IG, so you can DM Victoria Crest Homes your details, yeah, and they will contact you. Okay. Thank you so much for being a part of this. We appreciate you. You are blown. You are blown. Amaka of Lagos.
Good afternoon.
How you doing?
Good afternoon, ma. Good afternoon, ladies. I'm
Good afternoon.
fine. Okay, my name is Vivian. Vivian Oluchi Chima, and okay, I create videos as in real estate videos on YouTube. Though I've not done that for a while now because of some things. But first of all, I want to say thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you for
You're welcome.
This information, because this year I told myself that if I really want to go into real estate, I have to learn and I have to know what it's all about. It's not about putting videos. It's not about let people watch your video and have your views. Let me just go into it. And I'm happy you mentioned learn the skill and get knowledgeable, get information. So to answer the question, I think the first one is who is the quality manager.
The first one is The first question is, who is in charge of receiving the sites and settling customers, subscribers into the estates when the project is completed?
Number one, I would say, just like everyone, I put Mrs. Oyola. And the second one, I put Sandra down, because when she was talking, she mentioned going to the sites, and when they look at her sites, so I believe she's the one really. And the third one, why I feel a woman should be in management level. Women are strong, and women are good, we are wise, and women have the capacity to make the right decisions. They take their team members as friends or family, and they are very hardworking and disciplined. And when a woman sets her mind to do something, she's going to do it, and she'll bring something good to the table, and you know that's right. Okay, she knows how to balance and carry everyone along, and everything work out perfectly well. So when a woman is in authority or when she's in management position, you can be rest assured with peace of mind that will come out well, the project will come out well, just because she's very hardworking and disciplined, and she doesn't miss the gentleman that miss her work with pleasure. She's there to deliver, and she's bold and confident in herself. So I believe every woman should be in management positions. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Vivian. Thank you. We appreciate you. Please do send your details to info@netcomoaks.com so that if you get selected, then we can take up conversations from there. Hi, good afternoon. Who's that? I can't see. What's her name? Good afternoon. How are you doing? Your hand forward. Your name is? No, Precious. Give it to Aziz. Give it to Aziz. Give it to Aziz. Hold on. Okay, how are you doing?
Careful.
Adeshola, you said? Rashidat Adeshola.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Yes, ma'am. I thank you for reporting this really interesting. So, question one, I think that Libya is Libya.
Okay.
Hello, ma'am.
Go ahead.
And question two goes to Miss Sarah.
Okay.
And then question three, Mr. Steve Amani, sorry, who made me involved in real estate management. Then probably the reason why I mentioned involved in real estate management is because I think one would have any situation of as there's in then multi-tax, like that's not the case.
The network is not very clear. I'm struggling to hear you. We're struggling to hear you now. We're struggling to hear you now.
I think her network is really bad.
Hello, Rashida. Okay, go ahead now. We can hear you. No, the last question. What's your opinion on infusing women as a strong part of management level in the real estate sector? Please, can you check Dr. Ned's phone to see that there are questions? Okay, I think you should DM the last answer. DM it to Victoria Crest Homes, because we can barely hear you. The network is very glitchy. Okay? So please go ahead and DM the answer for the last question to our page, and then also leave your details so that the team will contact you if you scaled through this process. Okay? Thank you so much, Rashida. All right. Okay. Okay. Do we have more?
You should check for applicants.
We should have 4 people here.
Just accept one.
Accept all, but one at a time. Hi. Hello. Can you take another person, Aziz? Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Are you there? We can hear you. Okay, go ahead to DM your answers. Go ahead to DM your answers, okay? Move, switch, Aziz.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead and DM your answers. Aziz, can we take the next person?
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, good afternoon. How are you doing? We can hear you. So if you can't hear us, just go ahead and DM.
Good afternoon.
Go ahead and DM your answers, okay? We can't hear you. If the network is bad, just go ahead and DM your answers. Aziz, you're not able to disconnect this. Somebody else. Okay. Hi. Hello. Hi, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Can you hear me? Hi, how you doing? Okay. Please go ahead and introduce yourself. Does he disconnect?